Hi guys, hope you've had an absolutely awesome week. In this video I'm going to be talking about London collections for men, or more commonly known as London Men's Fashion Week, which I've been to over the weekend, and also my review of who wore it best at this year's 2015 Golden Globes. Whoop, whoop. So first up I'm going to be talking about London collections for men, or as I'm going to call it, London Men's Fashion Week, because it's so much easier to say. I was down there backstage with the Fudge hair team, kind of looking and watching the pro team create amazing styles. I went to James Long, Matthew Miller and Belstaff, which was incredible. A really good way to spend my weekend, so could be worse. The best way that I could describe the Men's Fashion Week is when you walk in, there's every buyer, stylist, journalist, fashion blogger, photographer, all kind of in the same room. And if you imagine it was full of peacocks, all with their tails fanned out, strutting about, that is how I would describe the atmosphere. For me, sometimes it gets a little bit intimidating because some of the people there are absolutely beautiful and very well dressed. And mug-a-lug's here. I try my hardest. Not really sure I ever quite cut it, but I enjoy the free coffee, and actually I'm much more at home backstage with all the beauty team. Now Belstaff is possibly one of the fittest brands that's just up and coming at the moment. David Beckham is their face, which is, you know, pretty good face. And they have amazing leathers, and they did a presentation. It was all very like biker chic. And I have to say that every person at the Belstaff presentation, whether they were working on the show or going there, was incredible looking. Literally, my friend and I walked in and we were like, oh my god, oh my god. We were like, mate, everyone is fit, everyone. And she was like, I know, he's fit, he's fit, he's fit. I was like, yeah, get it, fit. The hair and grooming at Belstaff was definitely my favourite. The models that they'd used, I heard someone saying that they were in the top 15% of models to be booked. So they were basically booking like huge, amazing models. And let me tell you, they were smoking. For the average guy like myself, to stand there and look at men like that was a bit demoralising, and also hot, and demoralising, and hot. I definitely had a few biscuits at that show. I was laughing with my friend. I was kind of stood at the end of the bar, and there was all the hot models kind of walking around looking gorgeous, lots of fashionistas, and then me and my mate at the end of the bar with the biscuits and a brew. I was like, God. So in terms of the grooming at Belstaff, it was quite incredible. They'd done really messy hair, they being the Fudge team. They created this kind of messy hair, and it was all tousled and gorgeous. It looked like the bikers had just taken their helmet off and gone like, you know, like that Baywatch kind of woo, yeah. And then I was chatting to one of the makeup artists, and I was like, you know, what are your top tips for doing makeup for men? And she basically was telling me stuff that I do already on this video, so that's good. Backstage makeup artist is telling me that I'm already giving you the best tips, which is awesome. A nice little thing that I noticed that they were doing on the boys was they'd done very natural looking skin, so you can just do that with like a tinted moisturiser or a tiny bit of foundation mixed with moisturiser. But then just on their cheekbones, they tapped a highlighter. Now, I actually really like that on men, just a tiny little tap of highlighter here on their cheekbones. And I was thinking, a really quick and easy way if you want kind of highlighted backstage fashion-y man face would be to use just like a little bit of lip balm. I obviously love Carmex. Just put like your finger in it and then just literally like tap it onto your skin like this. It's not going to do anything to your skin, it's lip balm, it's going to be fine, and it'll just give you that kind of wet look, glossy, well, maybe glossy, maybe not glossy, but it's just a nice little trick if you're into that kind of thing. So that's enough for Men's Fashion Week kind of backstage goss. If you want more, if you want to see any of the pictures that I took, I did a little diary over on my blog, julesheptonstore.com. Or if you're watching this on my blog, hiya, welcome. So enough about Men's Fashion Week, more about Golden Globes. I think the red carpet season, all of a sudden, every year actually this happens to me, it's more about Christmas, detoxing, January, BAM! Red carpet. And And I think this year, definitely with the guys, we've seen a lot of kind of beard or no beard, to beard or no beard action. With Ethan Hawke and Eddie Redmayne and George Clooney, no beards. And then Jared Leto and Matthew McConaughey, all the beards. Like, huge. I think almost Matthew McConaughey needs to cut his a little bit, just to kind of get it a little bit neater. I watched Dallas Buyers Club the other day and wept. Holy beep. I wept. What an amazing film, but please trim that beard. Jared Leto, in my eyes, can do no wrong. He is incredible. I saw that he'd plaited his hair at the back, which I kind of think is quite fun. It's not necessarily what I would call a sartorial move, but it's Jared. He is forgiven. Ding! So Eddie Redmayne is on fire at the moment, isn't he? Because he's got that new film out, The Theory of Everything, which is about Stephen Hawking. I think his coverage, his press coverage, is off the hook. And I saw him in GQ as Best Dressed Man, and now he literally is just on fire. I love the fact that his hair is kind of so English preppy, public school boy, kind of thrown about. He's very clean shaven and he just lets his clothes do the talking, which when you put it from a grooming stance, if you want your outfit to do all the talking, then you pull your grooming back. Whereas if you kind of want to balance it up and make it more rugged, then maybe you grow a beard, play with your hair, a bit more like Jared Leto. Go Eddie Redmayne. And let's just have a little talk about Jamie Dornan. Holy sweet Jesus. That man just gets hotter and hotter, doesn't he? And especially with his whopping beard. I really like this beard. It's kind of come from nowhere. He was so like pretty boy. And then all of a sudden he's going a little bit more rugged, which I don't know about anyone else, but I am enjoying. And let's just take a minute to applaud Clooney as possibly the best man on the carpet, or maybe in the world, with that salt and peppery grey hair. I literally look at him and think, I pray that my hair gets grey like that. He just looks incredible. With his new bit of a wife on the old shoulder, he's nailing it, isn't he? Love Clooney. Well done, George. So there you go, a little video from me to you on my thoughts on London men's collections and also the Golden Globes 2015 and which men groomed it best. Next week I'm talking to you about dental hygiene, flossers at the ready, and also I am going to Stockholm, so I'm going to be doing a few blog posts on my favourite travel essentials. I'm doing a lot of travel actually in 2015. I am very much relying on a capsule wash bag, so stay tuned for that. If you want to stalk me a little bit more closely, say hey to my Instagram, it's @JulesVonHet, same for my Twitter, and of course click through to my blog, which is julesheptonstall.com. Bye! I find it really difficult to say. So, London, like Ethan Hawke and